What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And today we got a different video planned. We're going to be doing a tier list ranking of all 96 tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe from S tier down to F tier. And guys, this ranking is going to be based off of my personal enjoyment, and it's my opinion. I understand that you guys have different opinions than me, and that's totally alright. I know you're not going to agree with this list 100%, and that's totally okay. But feel free to comment your takes down below. Let's just keep it respectful though, guys. Come on, this is a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track ranking. I'm sorry if Moo Moo Meadows is your favorite track, alright, and I put it in F tier, which I just might. You never know. We'll see. Might be S tier though. You never know. But yeah, guys, this is just personal enjoyment ranking. I'm not going to be going too in depth on how much, why these tracks are as good as they are. I play online a lot, so how much I like these tracks in online definitely will affect the ranking of these as well. But without further ado, I think we should just jump right into it. We'll start with Mario Kart Stadium. The first track in the game, it's definitely better than some of the other first tracks in the game, like Luigi Circuit. I love the anti-gravity section. Personally, it's between C or B for me. I just think for it being a better intro track in the game, I'm going to put it at B tier. I think it's a safe choice. Next up, we got Water Park. This track is one of the best in the game for sure. I mean, guys, the track's themed like a water park. I mean, that's just insane, right? I mean, how can you not enjoy Water Park? There we go. Put it right in its home. It's trash. We don't need to go into it anymore. We're going to kind of rapid fire these because I don't want to spend 2 hours on each of them. Sweet Sweet Canyon. It's decent. I definitely don't mind it. I do think it's I like Mario Kart Stadium a little bit more, but this track's definitely not bad. It's got the dual path. It's got the shortcut at the end. I'm going to put it at C tier. It's not anything special, but I definitely enjoy it quite a bit. And next up we got Thwomp Ruins. Same thing with Sweet Sweet Canyon. I think it's decent. It's got a shortcut. It's got good theming. It's just not as good as Mario Kart Stadium in my opinion. I'm going to put it at C tier with it. Next up we got Mario Circuit from the Wii U. See, the thing is with this track, guys, is it's literally just a figure 8 flipped over on itself. And honestly, I think it's kind of boring to play online. So I'm going to put it, I don't think it's F tier. I don't think it's Water Park tier bad, but I'm going to put it in D tier. It's nothing special, but it's alright. Toad Harbor, kind of the same. Middle of the road again. I don't think it's B. I don't think it's B tier. This is tough. It's between B or C for me. It's got that shortcut at the end. That's pretty cool. It's got a couple different paths you can take, but I just don't think it's here. I think it's still C. I'm going to put it C. I know, guys, this is subjective. Don't worry. Don't get too mad at me. Twisted Mansion, overrated, had so much more potential. It's just boring. It's just a boring track to play online. It's D tier. It's not F tier bad, but it's still not great. Now, Shy Guy Falls. This is a track that I feel like is a little bit underappreciated. This track is really good. I love this track. The waterfall section, shortcut at the end, the Shy Guy theming. Guys, I'm putting this at S tier. I love this track so much. I think it's definitely if I was ranking this based not off personal enjoyment, I think it'd be A. But I personally just love this track a lot. Definitely an S tier track for me. It's between S and A. I feel like normally a consensus, you guys would probably put this at A. But for me, who loves to play online and plays this online a lot, I always pick it and I think it's great. So it's going to be a first S tier track. Dolphin Shoals. See, guys, this is a track I just don't enjoy. I don't know why. I'm going to put D for Dolphin. We're putting it in D tier. So much thought was put into that, right, guys? Electrodrome. See, this is a track I feel like is a toss-up because you could put this anywhere, really. I mean, you could put this, I'm thinking A through D I could put this. But I'm leaning more towards A and B here. I just think, objectively, the track is not the best. But the theming is insane, and I always feel like I'm having a rave. And this is just a fun track, guys. This is a fun track to play online. I think I'm putting it A. It's a low A. If I had an A- tier, I'd probably put it there. This is, it's probably, objectively, if we were ranking it based on how good the track is, it's probably B. But based on how much I like it, I'm putting it in A. Probably a little bit inflated, but it's okay. And let's see, Mount Wario, no thoughts. No thoughts. We don't even need to talk about this one, guys. This is one of the best tracks in the entire game. We don't need to talk. There's nothing else I need to say. Mount Wario, easy S tier, not even a thought about it. Cloud Top Cruise, this is a track I also enjoy quite a bit. I'm going to put this one, this track is good. Guys, this track is really good. I feel like people hate on this track for no reason. Guys, this is an A tier track. In my opinion. I mean, this is an A tier track. I think it's really good. The theming is awesome. The music is super cinematic. I really enjoy it. It's a great track. Cannot complain with that track at all. Now, Bone Dry Dunes, on the other hand, this is a track, I don't know. I feel like you could put this it's hovering around B through D. It's nothing special, guys. It's nothing special. I just feel like I don't know, something they could have done something more with it. But I still enjoy it. It's C. I think it's a good middle of the road track. It's not bad or by any means, but it's not like exceptional. So it's gonna stay in the C. Same with Bowser's Castle. I just think, like, when you think of Bowser's Castle, you think of these epic maps like Wii Bowser's Castle, that'd be up here. But luckily, this isn't the Wii Bowser's Castle. This track had more potential. I don't know why. I just feel like they could have done something more with it. I just don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. Like, it's between B and C. I'm going to put it at B just because it is Bowser's Castle. But it's definitely not my favorite Bowser's Castle, and they definitely could have done more with it as well. Is it B or C, though? That's the question. In C tier, it's a high C. If it's B, it's a low B. I'm going to put it at C tier. It's like a high C tier, though. It's not like a C minus. It's a C plus for sure. It's just something's missing. I don't know what it is. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. The graphics are awesome. As far as Bowser's Castle goes, I just feel like it doesn't live up to the hype of some of the other ones, like Wii Bowser's Castle. That one's up for debate. Mario Kart 8, this is the Rainbow Road. The new one, I mean, it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy this track for sure. I do love that shortcut at the end. I'm gonna put it at B tier. It's a safe pick. It's nothing crazy, but I definitely enjoy it. Probably more than some people, but I do enjoy that Rainbow Road for sure. Moo Moo Meadows, it sucks, guys. This track's terrible. I mean, it's just boring. Like, there's nothing going on. This track literally, I think it has 2 item sets on the entire course. Terrible. Absolutely atrocious to play in online. I'm basing a lot of my ranking on the online gameplay. So if you're just playing this track, like, you know, for nostalgia with your friends, I mean, you could put this up a little bit. But if we're thinking like online gameplay here, this track sucks. And I also just think it's very boring. Having 2 item sets is terrible because if you miss one of them, you're kind of screwed. Now, GBA Mario, this is an interesting choice because I feel like this track, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. It's got a cool shortcut at the end. It's definitely decent. It's between D and C for me. I just don't think I can put it in D tier. I think it's a C tier. Like, it's good for a Mario Circuit track. I think the remake's pretty good. So I'm going to put it at C. You could put it at D, but I mean, it's up for debate. Now, Cheep Cheep Beach, this track, I played Mario Kart DS growing up. It's got to be B tier. That's just for me. You know, the track might not be B tier, but it's also pretty fun to play online. That last section is chaos, and it's awesome. I'm personally, like, people think that, like, certain tracks that are chaotic are bad. Like, guys, I love chaotic tracks. Like, let's be honest here. And that last section on Cheep Cheep Beach is crazy. So I'm going to put it at B tier. Also, just a little bit of nostalgia for me. I just personally enjoy it a lot. Now, Toad's Turnpike, guys, I mean, let's think about this, right? The cars are insane. The nighttime vibe is crazy. The music is nostalgic. Let's just go and put it right in the S tier. I mean, this track is insane. And yes, this track's no. Don't even need to say anything about it. It's just not it. I mean, I get it, guys. I get it. It's basically like Moonview Highway's son is what this track is. I mean, it's just not it. It's just not it. It's boring. It's a figure 8 with slow cars. If the cars were like on steroids like they are on the Wii, then maybe this track would be a little bit better, but I just don't like it at all. Now, Dry Dry Desert. This track, I think, is a little bit overrated. I feel like the shortcuts on it are a little bit broken. It's also just a little bit boring. So I'm going to put it in D tier with Dolphin Shoals. We can put Dry Dry Desert in the D tier. I feel like it belongs there. Same with Donut Plains. Nothing crazy going on. It's definitely all right. I mean, I can't, like, diss on it too bad. The only tracks I'm really gonna hate on, like, I don't like, if it's in D tier, right? I feel like I still enjoy the track a little bit, but like F tier tracks I definitely don't enjoy. But this, like, Donut Plains is definitely not terrible. Yeah, Donut Plains, I mean, it definitely could be better, but I mean, it's a Donut Plains track. It's pretty basic, so it's gonna stay in the D tier. Now, Royal Raceway is a good track. Like, this is a fun track, guys, to play online. I really like this track a lot. It's between A and B for me. I think I'm gonna put it at B tier. It's a very solid track. I'd probably say closer to a B plus for Royal Raceway. You know, a lot of shortcuts, a lot of fun turns, a lot of fun sections on this track. You know, it's really like, it's a good track to play online as well. Most people are pretty decent at it, so you normally get some pretty crazy finishes on this track. I personally think it's a B plus track, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's Royal Raceway. DK Jungle, C tier. I feel like it's a little bit stepped down from the one on the 3DS. It's still good, don't get me wrong. I like how they added the anti-gravity section in the temple, but it's definitely not anything special. And as far as online racing goes, I'm going to put it in C tier. It's still a decent track, don't get me wrong, but I personally don't think it's one of my favorites, and that's just me. But for me, it's a C tier track. So Wario Stadium, this track, ugh. I just feel like this track, I feel like I'm getting like suffocated on this track because it's so narrow. And like if someone has triple green shells and throws them, my gosh, it's terrible. It's definitely a little bit overhated. I do agree. Like some people will definitely just immediately throw this in like F tier. I'm not personally going to do that. I think it's actually a decent track. It's just, something's not right. And it's definitely a little bit too narrow for my liking. So it's just not too fun for me to play on that. I just don't like it that much. Sherbetland, man, this is another track where it's just like had so much potential, and I just feel like it's between D and F. Like, guys, this track is not good in my opinion. I just don't like it. I'm gonna put it in. Is it F tier bad though? Is it F tier bad? Is that the question? I'm gonna put it at D. I just think they could have done more with this track, and honestly, in online races, it's not that fun. It's not F tier. It's not like Water Park Toad's Turnpike bad. But it's definitely not great. This would definitely be closer to a D- for me. Now, Music Park, on the other hand, this track is a banger. We'll put that right up into the A tier. I mean, this track is really good. I definitely enjoy it a lot. Can't complain about Music Park at all. So it's an A tier. I mean, the music, obviously the music even playing in the background is awesome. You know, the giant music notes at the end is awesome. The shortcuts are fun. Driving over music, like piano, xylophone, like it's awesome, guys. That's a great track. Same with Yoshi Valley. It's a fun track to play online. I don't think it's on the same tier as Music Park, but I definitely think it's definitely a B tier track. You know, the paths are definitely like really, you know, the different paths. I mean, of course, there's certain ones that are definitely better than the others. I just feel like for this track, they should have made that wood bridge, which is the shortest path. They should have made that like off-road, I feel like. Because then people would have to actually take different paths. Because people just take the wood bridge every time, including myself. Because obviously it's it's the shortest path. But it's windy, twists and turns all over. Got a couple good shortcuts. It's definitely a decent track, so I'll keep it at the B tier. TikTok Clock as well. I feel like this track gets a bad rap. It's a good track, guys. This is a good track. The music is awesome. The clock hands in this look awesome, and especially since you can take shortcuts on them as well. I mean, that's just awesome as well. I mean, I'm not complaining about that at all. I mean, that is awesome. So TikTok Clock is definitely solidly in the B tier for me. Produces some great online races. Definitely a great track. I cannot complain at all. The thing is, guys, with S and A, it's like I really have to enjoy these tracks a lot. Like these are like my top 15 tracks. TikTok Clock is pretty close for me. Like this is a good track. This is a B+ track. Same with Yoshi Valley. Cannot complain. Piranha Plant Slide, on the other hand, though, I just feel like it's another track that just did not do as well on the remake as I would hoped. I played it on the 3DS, and it's definitely good on the 3DS, but I just feel like something is missing. I just feel like something is missing on this track. I mean, it's still a decent track, don't get me wrong, but it's average, guys. It's average, nothing special, but I mean, it still produces some decent races. Grumble Volcano, like if this was like Mario Kart Wii, bro, immediately putting in this nest. But it's a little bit of a step down, but it's not like this far down in my opinion. I think it's still around B. Guys, I mean, what other track basically crumbles apart the more you race on it? I mean, that's pretty freaking sick. You know, of course, they took out some of the shortcuts. I mean, the shortcuts on Mario Kart Wii's Grumble Volcano were absolutely busted, and that's why it's in the S tier for me. But I mean, it's Grumble Volcano, guys. An iconic track. In my opinion, it still produces great races online. And I personally still think it's a B tier track. It's great. It's Grumble Volcano, guys. It's iconic. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So it's firmly in the B tier for me. Great track. Now, N64 Rainbow Road, most people would put that immediately in the F tier. I just think this track is boring. It is. I'm not gonna deny that. But the remake, the graphics are so good. It looks amazing. So it puts it into the D tier for me. Like the train going around the track looks awesome, dropping the coins. And even the track just looks great. I feel like this track objectively is of F tier, but I just think I like the visuals enough to put it into D tier, and that's just me. You know, it's just me. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it doesn't produce great races. There's no shortcuts on it or anything. But the visuals put it in D tier for me. It would be F tier though if it wasn't like as visually appealing as it is. Yoshi Circuit, no hesitation. I mean, guys, the track is shaped like Yoshi. This track is awesome. So many twists, turns, shortcuts. I mean, and it's shaped like Yoshi above all, guys. This track is amazing. Easy S tier. I don't really need to think about it too much. Yoshi Circuit's awesome. Excitebike Arena, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. It's literally an oval, guys. Some tracks that are ovals are not too bad, but this track is literally just a bunch of ramps and 2 grass shortcuts on the turns. and this track's just not fun. Simple as that. It's boring, and yet somehow people still always pick it in online races, and I don't know why. Maybe because they know everyone hates this track, but hey, you know what, guys? It's Excited Bike Arena. It's an F tier track, and that's the end of it. Now, Dragon Driftway, guys, this is a good track as well. It's not C tier. It's definitely, but it's not A tier either for me. I think it's a B tier. I mean, this is a good track. Dragon Driftway is a good track, guys. I really enjoy it online. Definitely some chaotic parts, and I love chaos in Mario Kart. I mean, who doesn't love chaos in Mario Kart? When you're playing it with your friends, you love chaotic races, and this track produces chaotic races. It also has some very tough turns, good shortcuts, and guys, it's a good track. Probably B+ if this was if I was being a little bit more specific, but I'm not trying to get too nitty-gritty with it. But Dragon Driftway is a great track, guys. Cannot complain at all. Same with Mute City. Mute City, I'm going to put in the A tier. Both F-Zero tracks in this game are awesome. We'll get to the other one in a bit. Guys, Mute City's awesome. The music, banging. The races are awesome. That final shortcut can easily win you a race if you pull it off successfully. Super sharp turns. The coins on the ground, the coin boosters on the ground you can get. Anti-gravity all over the place. Chaos everywhere. It is awesome. Mute City, firmly in my A tier. Wario's Gold Mine, man, see, this one's tough because on the Wii, it's fun. Because on the Wii, this track is really tough, guys. I just feel like in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I mean, I get it that they dumbed down some of these Wii tracks, but this track just doesn't do it for me sometimes. And it also just kind of like hurts my eyes. I don't know if that's just me, but like sometimes with the hills and all that stuff, it just like hurts my eyes a little bit. It's definitely not a terrible track by any means, but like I just don't think it's anything special. I just can't put it here. I can't do it. I'm gonna keep it in C. If it's Wario's Gold Mine, it's definitely an iconic track, but compared to the Wii, it's definitely it's a step down for sure. Still a decent track, but I'm gonna keep it in the C tier for now. Now, SNES Rainbow Road, this track I feel like is pretty simple, and honestly, I just think like when you race online with this track, I just feel like you get like two people that could break away, and then everyone else is in like a little cluster in the middle. It's between B and C for me personally. Like I just think that this track could have. I mean, what else could they have done with it? That's the real thing. I just think for what it is and how chaotic it is, I'm going to put it in B tier. It's definitely a low B for sure. Almost probably should be in C tier. But like, I just really like this track a lot. And I always try to choose this track when I play against my friends because, you know, they're not very good at it. But it's definitely good. Don't get me wrong. But compared to some other Rainbow Roads, like I would put like this Rainbow Road right here. The one, like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Rainbow Road. I think it's probably a little bit better. Ah, man, I'm just so hesitant to put it in. Nope, it's C. It's C. High C, though. High C tier for this track. That's just me. I know, guys. I know. Now, Ice Ice Outpost, guys. People hate on this track, and I don't know why. This is a good track, and it also has one of my favorite music soundtracks in the entire game. It's banging, guys. And no, it's not A. I don't think it's an A tier for me. I just, like, really enjoy this track, though. I'm going to put it in B. Like, this is a good track, guys. I really do enjoy this track. And, you know, certainly it has its boring sections, but, you know, it's got the shortcuts. It's got great sections on it with the shortcuts. And it's definitely chaotic as well. So it's definitely firmly in the B tier for me. Hyrule Circuit. I mean, this track is definitely decent for sure. I'm going to put it in A. Solid A tier track. This is a good track. Cannot complain. It's themed after Legend of Zelda. It's got the rupees as coins, which is awesome. Great detail there. It's got a couple great shortcuts. Castle looks awesome. Cannot complain. Easy A tier on this track. Tough track as well. Got some sharp turns. It's a great track. Baby Park, guys. See, like, objectively, if we were going off how the track is, it'd be F tier. But, guys, Baby Park produces some of the most chaotic Mario Kart 8 Deluxe races ever online. And as someone who plays Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online all the time, guys, I have so much fun playing Baby Park. And I don't know if that's just me, but, like, the chaos, it's unmatched compared to any other Mario Kart track. If we're ranking this off of my personal enjoyment and how much, like, it is, how well it goes online, guys, this is an A tier track. And that's just for me. And I totally understand if you think Baby Park is F tier. I totally get it. Because objectively, the track is an F tier track. Based off of enjoyment and chaos and how well the online races are, guys, Baby Park is awesome. And I cannot complain. And what is Sunshine Airport doing down here? This is in the wrong spot. I didn't realize we got to Sunshine Airport this late. I guess somehow it got put in that spot. But I'm going to put Sunshine Airport, guys. I'm going to put it at... This needs to be earlier. I should have ranked this way earlier. I didn't realize it was lost in there. It's between B and C for me. I just think for online, like if this was ranking off the track, it'd be B, but I'm going to put it at C personally. I think that's just for me. Well, this is tough. It's between B and C though. Between B and C. You know what? I'm going to put it at B. But I just feel like they could have done a little bit more with it. And that's why, objectively, this track is probably a C tier track. But for online purposes and for my enjoyment, this is a B tier. So I'm going to keep it there. Oh, Cheese Land. Oh, Cheese Land. One of the most broken tracks ever made in Mario Kart. And I'm going to put it in D. I just think that this track is so broken that while it might be good, it's almost so broken that it's hard to enjoy. And for me, especially online, like you cannot front run this track. No matter how hard you try, even though Nintendo nerfed bagging in Wave 6, you still cannot front run this track. And I've tried before and I have failed and it just does not work. And it is just like, I don't know, guys. I just can't do it. And I just think for me, it's D tier because everyone bags and objectively, that's just not it. So I'm going to keep it in D. Now, Wild Woods, on the other hand, Wild Woods, I actually enjoy this probably more than a lot of people. I'm going to put it in the B tier, guys. I love Wild Woods. I think it's a good track. Now, that's probably just me. But, like, I just think it produces some chaotic races. That final section with the water is insanely chaotic at the end. And honestly, guys, this track is underrated. I feel like it gets not enough love. I'm going to keep it at the B tier, firmly there. And honestly, guys, I enjoy it quite a bit. So it's going to stay there. As far as Animal Crossing goes, this one, I mean, this one's kind of a toss-up, but not really. I mean, it's all right, guys. It's nothing special. I'm going to put it at the C tier. I do like how it changes seasons, but as far as the online racing goes in Animal Crossing, it's nothing great. I mean, it's nothing special. The track's all right. It's got a couple decent turns. It's got the one shortcut at the end. But other than that, that's really it. I mean, it's all right. Neo Bowser City, on the other hand, now this is a good track, guys. This is a good track. It's an A tier, solid A tier track, guys. I just feel like this track is really difficult. And for online racing, it is awesome because so many people do not know how to take those turns, those 3 large turns at the end. And also just the atmosphere of this track, the music is banging. This is a good, solid track, guys. I really love this track a lot. Securely in the A tier. Same with Ribbon Road. This track is also fire. This remake is one of the best in the entire game. This track is awesome to play online. So many shortcuts. If you can do those block shortcuts successfully, you will be set up probably for a top spot. That shortcut at the end can definitely mess things up. There's so many shortcuts, so many crazy sections. This track is awesome. Another firmly A tier track. Super Bell Subway, I'm going to put this at the B. I definitely think it's good. I personally like Super Bell Subway probably more than a lot of people, and that's just me. That's probably why it's in the B. But like the subways make this track really tough. It's got some tough turns, couple shortcuts. Also, the theming is great. I'm going to keep it at the B tier. I do like this track a lot. Probably more than a lot of people, but hey, guys, that's just me. Firmly B tier for Super Bowl Subway. Big Blue. Don't even have to think about it. This track is goated. I mean, it is. It's in my top 5 for sure. I mean, this track it's unbelievable. It is. So chaotic. So many amazing sections. Feels like a roller coaster. It is awesome. I don't even really need to say much about it. It's top tier. Top tier track. Now, here we are, guys. So that's the first 48. So here we are on the DLC now. Paris Promenade. Here's the thing, guys. The city tracks get a bad rap in this game. And a lot of them are good. We'll get to those eventually. But there's certain ones that there's a couple that just aren't good. And Paris Promenade is one of them. And it's just not a lot going on. And online races are boring on it. The track's pretty boring, pretty flat. Not a lot going on. It's an F tier track. I don't really like it. Now, Toad Circuit is another track. People despise this track. But guys, I mean, if we're thinking like enjoyment's probably here. But the thing is, the races on this track are actually good. This track produces good racing. Now, the racing is probably around C tier, but the enjoyment's around here, which means it's going to go here. Now, I know most people would say, oh, just throw Toad Circuit in the F tier. It's the worst track in the game. I get it, guys. I get it. But if you're in first on this track and people are taking the final shortcut, you will have some close finishes on this track. Those final 2 shortcuts always even it out and make the endings really close on this track, and it makes it fun. Like Toad Circuit, the racing is good, the track's not good, but the racing is good, which makes it into D tier. I know that doesn't really make much sense, but that's just me, guys. Choco Mountain. See, this one's tough, guys. I just feel like they could have done more. I really do. They feel like they could have done more with this track. It's definitely good. It definitely looks good. It's average at best, guys. It's all right. It's nothing crazy, but it's still a decent track, so it's going to stay in the C tier. Now, Coconut Mall, it's definitely not as good as the Wii one, but guys, it's Coconut Mall, and it's iconic. I'm going to put it in the A tier. it's still a really fun track to play. I mean, this track is, it's Coconut Mall, guys. There's Coconut Mall memes everywhere on the internet. The racing's still good on it. It's just a little bit dumbed down compared to the Wii. Like, the Wii Coconut Mall, easiest S tier ever, bro. That track is insane. But this is the Mario Kart Deluxe one. So, it's not as good as its predecessor, but it's still really solid. It's Coconut Mall. It's iconic. It's going to stay in the A tier for me. Now, Tokyo Blur. Nintendo did not start out too hot with the city tracks. I don't really need to say much about this track. It's not good. It's flat, boring, just like Paris Promenade. Flat, boring, not a lot going on. It's not it. So it's going to stay in the F tier. Now, Shroom Ridge. This one I feel like people stir up a lot of controversy with Shroom Ridge because some people think Shroom Ridge is trash. D tier. Like a D tier garbage. But guys, this is a good track, and I don't know why people think this is a D tier. This is a B tier track, guys. The cars on this map are like, they make this track tough because some of these turns are insane to drift around. If you can get the right lines, oh my gosh, you can like cut inside the cars by like an inch, like you'll almost hit them. And it's got a couple good shortcuts, and the turns are tough. Like, this is a tough track, but also the music's banging. And guys, Shroom Ridge is good. I don't know why people hate this track. It is a good track. I always just find myself getting Mario Karted on this track. But you know what, guys? That's just part of the fun. But for me, guys, this is a B tier. This is a good track. I can't complain. I like Shroom Ridge. I like it a lot. Sky Garden. I feel like people are disappointed with this map just because it's just not, it doesn't remind them much of the original Sky Garden. And I have to agree with them here. But guys, this is still a fun track. I just feel like it gets a bad rap. I'm going to put it in C. It's not anything special, but I just feel like it's not a bad track. You know, you can still get some good action on it. I just don't think it's a bad track, personally. I mean, it definitely could be better. And that final shortcut always makes the finishes of these races awesome. And for online, that's really all I need to see. And I've had a couple really good photo finishes on this map as well. Objectively, it'd probably be B or D tier, but I do enjoy this track still. It's still decent. People hate on it way too much, in my opinion. That's just me, though. So I'm going to keep it in the C tier. I think it should stay there. Now, Ninja Hideaway. People have this track all the way from here to here. And I don't know why it's here, guys. This track is A tier. This is a tough track. This is one of the toughest tracks Nintendo's made, probably. That's like not Rainbow Road, of course. But guys, Ninja Hideaway is awesome. This was the best track released in Wave 1, easily. Not even a question. But this track is awesome, guys. The split paths. It's got a really awesome, super versatile shortcut. The soundtrack is awesome. The colors are awesome. The racing is good. Guys, that's a solid A tier track, in my opinion. New York Minute. This one, objectively, it's D tier. The track is a D tier track, but I do like it. You know, it looks, the lighting is awesome. It looks good. The colors are popping. Objectively, this track is D tier. If we're ranking just off the track, it's D tier. But ranking off of my personal enjoyment and how it is on online races, I'm going to put it at C tier. This track produces some good racing, guys. Good racing. And honestly, if this is a racing game, I want to have good racing. And this track produces some chaotic finishes. It really does. And that's why it's C tier. Objectively, it's D, but I'm going to put it at C. And that's just me. Now, SNES Mario Circuit 3. This one pains me, guys. This one pains me a lot. Because this is a popular track. People really do enjoy this track. People will say that it's F. But here's the thing, guys. I just think this track is too iconic. It's been in 3 Mario Kart games at least now. The racing on this track is good. You know, it's a bagging track. And I know people don't like bagging tracks. And I'm going to put it at D. Objectively, it's F. And people really don't like this track. And that's totally okay. But I just think that this track deserves more. And it really is a very simple track. And I just think it deserves more personally. But that's just me. It's not, I just don't think it's F tier. It's just not that, it's not bad enough to put it at F, but it's definitely not good enough to put it at C. So it's going to stay in D. Now, Calamari Desert, I mean, it's all right. It's a little bit basic in my opinion. I'm going to put it at C. I do like how you can drive on the train tracks now. That's a cool feature that they added. It's nothing crazy or anything. Make sure you learn how to do that final shortcut though. The racing's all right. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just an average track, so it's going to stay in the C tier. What have we got next? Waluigi Pinball. See, this track, guys, objectively, this track is S tier. Now, it's not S tier for me, and I will explain why. This track, I love this track to bits, guys, and I don't want to call it overrated, but I feel like people gas up this track a little bit too much. Because, guys, it has no shortcuts. It has 0 off-road. There's nothing like, it's almost a little boring. And visually, this track is unbelievable. It is. It really is. The music is also one of the best of all time. It's iconic. I just can't keep it in S. I'm going to put it in an A. And I just feel like that this track people gas it up so much, but then the people that don't gas it up will put it like here and think it's mid. It's not mid. It's definitely low A tier for me. And it's almost B tier, because I feel like this track's almost so overrated that it's just, I don't know. It's not S. It's not S, but it's also not bad enough to be B. So I'm gonna keep it an A. I do love Waluigi Pinball to bits. It's definitely got one of the best music soundtracks in the game. One of the most visually appealing tracks. But as far as the actual track driving is, it's decent at best. It is. So I'm gonna keep it an A. Sydney Sprint. Now this is an interesting one because this is where the city tracks started to improve, in my opinion. They started to get better after they released the worst ones first: New York Minute, Paris, and Tokyo Blur. Sydney Sprint is B. And I'm going to explain why. I think that they did way better on this track with how expansive it is. You go to a lot of different places. The track has more glider sections, more hills. It's got, boost panels, ramps. This track is better than these other ones. And this is not a bad track by any means. It produces some good races. So it's going to be in the B tier for me. Same with Snowland. This is one of the best remakes ever. This track is awesome. It really is. And as far as the online races go, if you can learn how to do that shortcut, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. The racing's good. It's not bad at all. So I'm going to keep it at B. I mean, it's a good track. Personally, I enjoy it a lot. And online, it's very chaotic and it's a great track. The remake is awesome. So I'm going to keep it at B. Now, we don't really have to think about this one either. This track's unbelievable. I mean, it's Mushroom Gorge, guys. One of the most iconic Mario Kart tracks of all time. One of the best Mario Kart tracks of all time. It's still just as good in this game as well. The gap jump is still there. The music's still banging. The mushroom physics are still just as crazy as ever. Guys, I mean, it's Mushroom Gorge. I really don't need to say much else about it. Now, Sky High Sunday. This track, people say it's a glorified Excite Bike arena. And objectively, people would put it here or here. But guys, I just think that this track, I'm going to put it at C. And let me explain why. I just think that, personally, the colors on this track are popping. And, I probably look at colors a lot more than a lot more than other people, and that's totally okay. But guys, when the track pops with color, it looks good. It looks aesthetically pleasing. And I'm like, hey, when I see a track like Waluigi Pinball, Ninja Hideaway, Waluigi Pinball, Ninja Hideaway, or Sky High Sunday, I see the colors, and I'm like, oh, that track looks awesome. I'm gonna play it. It draws in my attention, and that's what this track does. And objectively, the track is not the best. But you know what, guys? We're not ranking this just off the track. The racing on this track is also good. It produces some crazy finishes. That last bank turn with all the ramps, it produces some great finishes. And the racing's not bad. And I know the track is a little bit boring, guys, but the mix of the colors and the racing, it puts it in C tier for me. And people that say that this track is at F tier, bro, I'm sorry, but that's just, I don't know. I don't know about that one. So I'm going to keep it in C tier. It's not bad. It's not as bad as people say it is. Rock Mountain. Guys, this one, I don't really know what to say. It's not visually pleasing to the eyes. It's not it. It's also kind of boring. It's very large. It's not F tier bad, but it's not great, guys. It's not great, and it's firmly in the D tier. I'm going to keep it there. It's not anything special. Doesn't produce great online racing. The track's almost too long, too straight, and it's just not anything special, in my opinion. And you can just go join your friends. Not it right here. The last section on Merry Mountain is one of the most excruciatingly painful sections in any Mario Kart game. It's so long and straight and nothing's going on, and it just sucks because if you're trying to have a close finish, you're not going to be able to catch anybody on a straight section. It has that one cool shortcut, but the last section, there's nothing going on. The track's boring. There's nothing going on. It's an F tier track. Now, London Loop. This track, in my opinion, is similar to Sydney Sprint, and let me explain why. It is more expansive than a track like Paris or Tokyo. And it's better than New York Minute as well. But the thing is with these two, just like Sydney Sprint, it's got more ramps, more expansive. You see more of London. You get more shortcuts. It's bigger. The scale of this city track is bigger. And I know people think that the bigger city tracks are confusing, and I totally get it. But I just feel like the scale of this city track is so much larger than these two down here. And that's why it's B tier, because it still produces some great finishes on this track. Good racing, and the track objectively is probably here, but the combination of the racing and London is dope, so it's going to be in the B tier for me. That's just me, though. Now, Boo Lake. I don't know why people hate this track. Boo Lake is good. This track is really good. It's B tier. B tier for Boo Lake. This track is awesome. The theming of the Boos is awesome. King Boo's flying around everywhere. The music is cool. The shortcut is awesome. Even the aesthetic of this track is so cool. I love the water on this track. It works. It really does. Boo Lake produces some crazy racing online. It is awesome. B tier track, Boo Lake. Now Maple Treeway. I feel like people hype this track like on the Wii. It's up here. It's up here somewhere. On the Switch, on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they dumbed it down. And that's totally okay. That's totally okay. I just feel like compared to its predecessor, it is a high B. And I know it's down here in B, and I'm just going in order. But this is a high B tier. And let me explain why. I just feel like Mario Kart Wii's Maple Treeway is one of the toughest Mario Kart tracks. Mario Kart Wii has some extremely tough tracks. And, I get it. They dumbed it down in this. That's totally okay. But as far as the racing goes, it's a little bit janky, in my opinion. It's not as smooth as a couple of these other tracks, like Mushroom Gorge. I just feel like something's not right with Maple Treeway. And that's totally okay. But it's Maple Treeway, guys. It's iconic. It is still really, really good. And that's it's totally me. And it probably should be up here. But for me, it's a high B. So close to F, or so close to A. Now, Berlin Bowers. I said this track was mid in a recent video, and I'm going to stand by that and say that it's a C. Like New York Minute, it is, it's kind of got a bigger scale like London Loop and Sydney Sprint. I just feel like this track has some boring sections. It has that really long straightaway. It doesn't really produce great racing. This track is really easy to front run, and that's not what you want on a city track, or any track, really. I mean, you want tracks, because like Mario Kart, I feel like, of course you want to win. But like, I like the races where everyone's in one spot. And it's chaos the whole time. That's why Baby Park's in the A tier. But this track is it's almost a little bit too expansive, too bland, and it's going to stay in the C tier. Doesn't produce the best racing, and I'm just not the biggest fan of it either. So it's going to be in the C tier. Now, Peach Gardens. This remake is awesome. The third lap, I was not expecting that at all. It's firmly in the A tier. Borderline S tier track as well. Borderline S. And I don't know. I just feel like, you can high-five Luigi, you can trick off the curbs, you can take the shortcuts galore. I mean, this track is awesome. It's Peach Gardens. Most of the Wii remakes are pretty good. But it's Peach Gardens. It's iconic. It's easy A tier. Probably A+ tier. Borderline S tier. So it's going to stay in the A tier. It's awesome. 3DS Rainbow Road. Same thing. This is one of the best remakes ever. The track is gorgeous. My only complaint about this track is the moon section. It just feels so out of place. I don't know why, and I don't want to nitpick this track because it is so good. But that is the only section on this track that does not make it S tier. I just don't know why. It just feels out of place. But this track is visually stunning. I played it on the 3DS, and the step up in the graphics is unbelievable. This is the road, guys. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. Another borderline S tier. This track is awesome to play. It's one of my favorites for sure. Amsterdam Drift, B tier. City tracks are not bad, guys. Not all of them. This is another track, just like London Loop, Sydney Sprint. It's expansive, many different sections, shortcuts. Looks awesome. I mean, this is a good track, guys. This is a solid track. The only complaint I have on this track, the water section is just not it. Like London Loop, Sydney Sprint, it is pretty similar to those, where it's got the bigger scale, a lot of different paths, a lot of different ramps, gliders, shortcuts. You see a lot more. You do a lot more, and that is why this track is good. It is a B tier track, solid B tier. Now, as far as Riverside Park goes, I definitely think, this track on paper is pretty simple, and it really is. It's simple, guys, but it's not a bad track by any means. I'm gonna put it in C. It's not anything crazy, but it's also not anything great. It's not anything great, but it's not anything terrible either. It's a good track. They definitely did it right. And I don't know what else they could have done with it, but it's definitely not terrible, and I do think it's decent for sure. It definitely produces some fun online races. That final cave section is awesome. So chaotic in there. It produces some great finishes. It's a decent track. Objectively, the track is D. The racing is B, which puts it at C. DK Summit. We don't even think about it. It's DK Summit, guys. One of the best Mario Kart tracks ever. Period. End of story. Don't even have to think about it. That track is unbelievable. It's DK Summit. The gap cut's still in the game. The double shortcut. I don't really have to say much else. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's one of my favorites. It's a lot of people's favorite as well. It's one of my favorites. Easy S tier. Don't even think about it. Same with Yoshi's Island. Go ahead and go up there. This track is insane. This track is awesome. It is so good. The colors, once again, just like Ninja Hideaway, Waluigi Pinball. So good. This track is insane. It's got great turn-ins, great shortcuts. I love the flying question mark to unlock the hidden path at the end. Yoshi's Island, one of the best Nintendo-made tracks, and this track is awesome. It really is, and easy S tier for me. It produces some great online races as well. Now, Bangkok Rush, I just feel like, it's got the similar scale to like London Loop, Sydney Sprint, Amsterdam, but I just feel like it's more like a Berlin Byways. I play this track a little bit too much online, and I also just feel like it's a little bit forgettable. That's not something you want in a track, If you want to put a track at B tier, you gotta have it, stick with you. This track just doesn't stick with me too much, I don't think. And that's totally me, and that's totally okay. But I'm gonna keep it at C. Not a bad track by any means. Now, DS Mario Circuit. Now, guys, this track, it's another track I feel like could be put anywhere. But for me, and for online racing, guys, this is a good track. This is a good Mario Circuit. This is one of the best Mario Circuits out there. There are so many shortcuts on this track. It is chaos all over. It is awesome. I mean, how can you not say that this track is anything below a B tier? I mean, of course, obviously, if that's your opinion, that's fine. But dude, I love this track. It is a great track. Produces some great online races, and I'm gonna put it in the A tier, firmly in the A tier for me. Waluigi Stadium, I'm gonna put it. This one's tough. It's between A and B. I'm gonna put it in A. It's Waluigi Stadium. The turns are still just as tough. Cool shortcut. I mean, it looks awesome. Step up in the graphics as well. It's Waluigi Stadium, guys. It's awesome. It's difficult. Easy A tier. Produces great races. Easy A. Don't really need to say much else. It's awesome. Singapore Speedway. This is another great city track. One of the most visually appealing city tracks in the game. Now, objectively, the track is probably a C. People think it's a little bit boring, but it looks awesome. I'm going to put it in the B tier, guys. This is a good track. Guys, city tracks are not bad. I don't know why people hate on these city tracks like they're terrible. They're not. They're really good. They are really, really good. They are. I love them. And that's another example right here. Singapore Speedway is really awesome. I cannot complain at all. Now, Vancouver, on the other hand, is a track that I think is an A tier, guys. I really think this track is tough. It took me a while to learn how to play this track online. But so many shortcuts, so chaotic, very difficult track. It's awesome, guys. This is an awesome track. It really is. I don't really have much else to say about it. It is an A tier track. It really is. Look, even the bridge looks like an A. So, I mean, it's an A tier. It's awesome. Same with Athens Dash. I think Athens Dash is the best city track in the game. And that's just me. Guys, this is an awesome track. This is the best city track in the game, in my opinion. It really is just unbelievable. The scale of this track is the best out there. This track is just like so expansive and so awesome, and it's firmly in the A tier for me, and it's the best city track in the game. I think the thing that I like about Athens Dash so much is that you don't really feel like you're in a city. You feel like you got teleported back to the ancient times. And that's why this track is awesome. Most of these tracks like Vancouver, New York, Amsterdam, Singapore, London, like all of them are like, the cities. But Athens focuses more on, the mythology, the ancient times, and the detail is awesome. And, guys, it's so good. It produces some great races. That final stair section is so chaotic at the end, and it's the best city track in the entire game, in my opinion, and firmly sits at the A tier for me. Now, Daisy Cruiser. This one, I don't know. This one's a toss-up, because this is one where people could put it anywhere, really. I'm going to put it at C, try to make it as non-controversial as possible. I definitely think I don't know. I love tracks that have a lot of shortcuts, as you can tell. Look at my top 6 right now. Have tons of shortcuts. But Daisy Cruiser is definitely not D or F. It's not. It's not that bad. But it's definitely not this level of good, in my opinion. And that's just me. But it's definitely nothing special, but it's also nothing bad either. And I do like Daisy Cruiser. I do. So I'm going to keep it in the C tier. Nothing terrible, but nothing crazy either. So it's going to stay there. Now, Moonview Highway. This track gets people's opinions flying here. Because I just feel like on this version of Moonview Highway, like the one on the Wii is A tier. This one for me is B. Now, people think this track is D, and that's totally okay. But for me, it's B, and let me explain why. It's Moonview Highway, guys. This soundtrack on this, I don't know what they did on this soundtrack in this game. It is fire, bro. The soundtrack for this Moonview Highway is awesome. I just feel like the difficulty of the Wii version of this track made Moonview Highway so iconic. But I'm going to keep it in the B tier because it's just still good, guys. This is still a good track. I mean, objectively, it's just a rectangle. I know. But, guys, it's Moonview Highway. It's iconic. Soundtrack is banging. Still produces some great racing. It's solid B. I mean, it really is. This is still a great track. It really is. Squeaky clean sprint. This track's really grown on me a lot. I really think it's an A-tier track, guys. It's a good track. When I first saw that a track was themed after a bathroom, I would have been like, okay, that's pretty stupid. But this track is awesome. It's difficult. There's so many different paths that you can take. It's awesome, guys. This is a good track. Cannot complain at all. Squeaky clean sprint, easy A-tier, produces great racing. It's great. LA Laps. This is another city track that I really like, similar to these three already in B tier, or 4 now. This is the 5th city track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the 5th city track in B tier. See, guys, city tracks are good. This is another track, really expansive. You see a lot of different sections. There's a lot of different ramps, glider. You know, there's off-road shortcuts at the end. This is a good track. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. City tracks are good, and this is just like these 4 right here. These are good tracks, and it's true. It's going to stay in the B tier. Now, Sunset Wilds. This track gets a bad rap. It does. It does. It's not, like, people put it in F tier. Why? It's not F, guys. It's not an F tier track. People put it in D tier. Now, I can agree with that, but it's not that terrible. It's a C tier, guys. It really is, and I really do think that Sunset Wilds is not as bad as people say it is. It's really good. It's got some tough turns, good shortcuts everywhere. It looks great. The coloring is awesome. Guys, it's a good track. I can't complain. I cannot complain at all. So it's going to stay in the C tier. It's not bad. It's decent, for sure. It definitely produces some great online races as well. So, I mean, there you go as well. Koopa Cape. Boom. Put it up there. S tier. It's Koopa Cape. Another iconic Wii track. Clearly, we like the Wii tracks, guys. The DLC Wii tracks go crazy. It's Koopa Cape. They did an amazing job remaking this track. The physics are a little bit less broken on this track. It still looks amazing, plays amazing. It's easy S tier. I don't really need to say much else, and it's going to stay that way. Madrid Drive, on the other hand, is, guys, B. This is a good track, guys. It is. Let's scroll down a little bit. There we go. This is a good track, guys. Madrid Drive, where'd it go? There it is. I mean, it's definitely not New York Minute level bad. It's better than New York Minute and Berlin Byways and Bangkok Rush. It's a good track. You know, it has a couple sections that can be a little bit boring. But guys, it's got a great shortcut. It's got a great glider section. Yeah, good shortcuts. You know, it looks great. Looks just like Madrid, obviously. And then even the soccer field / football field / sports field at the end is awesome. So it's a solid B tier. This track is not worse than New York Minute. I don't know why people think New York Minute is better than this track. Rosalina's Ice World. Go join Madrid Drive up there in the B tier. When I saw this in the Wave 6 trailer, I was shocked. I really was. Justice for the tracks that did not conclude. Toad's Factory. Rest in peace. This track is good. Looks amazing. The sky looks like Super Mario Galaxy. Very great throwback there for my OG Wii players. Even anyone who plays Super Mario Galaxy, sky looks like it. The track, visually appealing. They added a shortcut. It's definitely a decent track. It's going to be in the B tier. Produces some great racing as well. Now, SNES Bowser's Castle 3. Go ahead and just go up there. I really didn't really know what to expect. I hadn't really played this track before. It came out on the Mario Kart Deluxe. But guys, the soundtrack, it feels like you're at like a rock concert. It is awesome. The lava is so cool, so bright, and it's not like a bad bright either. Like I will obliterate my eyes staring at that lava. Twisty turny, got anti-grab everywhere. It is awesome, amazing Bowser's Castle track. Easy A tier for me. Produces great online racing, and you can just go up there as well. It's Wii Rainbow Road. Why is this before the other one? I did the Spiny Cup before the I forgot what track it was or what cup it was. Acorn Cup, whatever. Wii Rainbow Road. It's iconic. One of the best Rainbow Roads ever made. I'm not gonna say if it is the best. It's one of the best because honestly I hadn't really thought about it. But it's Wii Rainbow Road, just as good as the original on the Wii. It's easy S tier. The gap jump's still in the game. Don't think about it. Easy S tier. It's Rainbow Road. Wii Rainbow Road, guys. Now Rome Avanti. They can join Madrid Drive in the B tier. I mean, guys, look at the amount of city tracks in the B tier. So that's all the city tracks. So there's we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 city tracks in B tier. Guys, Rome Avanti, just like Madrid Drive, is good. It really is. The night setting is awesome. The music, I really do love the music on this track. I love how chill it is, and it hits a great melody, and it looks great, drives great. Romavanti is B tier. I really enjoy it a lot. I really do. Easy B tier. And you can go up here as well. Look how many Wii tracks we got up here. We got Mushroom Gorge, DK Summit, Koopa Cave, Rainbow Road, DK Mountain. Now DK Mountain, just like the other tracks, it is a great remake. They kept the gap jump in the game. The music's still banging. They even added another shortcut where you can jump on top of the rock after the triple ramp section, after the cannon. Guys, it looks better. It plays just like the Wii. The soundtrack's still banging. The gap jump, of course, is still in the game. Iconic. Guys, I mean, how is it not S tier? The DK Mountain is awesome. Daisy Circuit, it's pretty basic on paper, guys. I'm going to put it in the C. And Daisy Circuit, I feel like, is an interesting one because it's definitely pretty boring on paper, but they made it awesome in this game. They really did. It looks great. Nintendo really stepped up the graphics in the DLC, and you can tell. This track is a great example of that. Objectively, the track is probably a D, but we're trying to be optimistic here, guys, and this is a good track. I still love to play it online. It's not anything crazy, but it's still decent, so it's going to be in the C tier. And last but not least, look at Piranha Plant Cove, a track that I hadn't played until it came out. And guys, this is a B tier because you want to know why, guys? This track is really good. It's got so many shortcuts, and I really didn't expect it to have such crazy physics with the water and the turns and the shortcuts. The track looks great, guys. I mean, I cannot complain. It's an A tier. Produces some great races as well. And yeah, it's a great track. There you go, guys. That's all 96 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks ranked in a tier list based off of my personal enjoyment and how much I like to play them online. I didn't go too in depth on why these tracks are S tier, but I mean, if it's my personal enjoyment and online racing, it's pretty much based off my opinion. I totally understand if you don't agree with this list, guys. That's totally okay. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I totally understand. But I tried to put some logic into this for sure. I know it's based off of my personal enjoyment, but there's definitely some logic put into this. So feel free to comment your takes down below. What do you think of this list? Let's keep it respectful though, guys. I know opinions these days can get backlash pretty easily. Well, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I hope you do enjoy this list. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I want to thank you all for watching and for the continued support, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace!